This is Brian with Screenphiles.com and my 2 cents. Remember HBO's Watchmen? Now, not everyone enjoyed that. I personally did. And mainly for the reason that it gave the material a chance to breathe. It told its own story, which is really important. But, as I said, it gave the material a chance to breathe, to expand on new themes, keeping in the spirit of the original. This is what I feel television is best at. Things get time to percolate, which in movies you traditionally don't have the time to do. Which brings me to Clive Barker's Books of Blood. Recently I learned that Brannon Braga and Seth MacFarlane are planning to produce a film airing on Hulu based upon Clive Barker's Books of Blood. Now this is interesting to me because I'm a huge horror fan and I grew up reading Clive Barker's books. I think he's a great writer, and as his career went on, he began to veer away from horror, much to my dismay. But in any case, this is a problem. Not because Clive Barker is not a great writer, he is, but the problem is that everyone, virtually everyone, that adapts Clive Barker's works without Clive Barker actually being involved with the project creates crap. And that's not fair, I shouldn't call it crap, but certainly creates work that's not as good as what Clive Barker typically does. For instance, let's look at Book of Blood. Notice that was singular, from 2009. This was not a bad movie. But the thing is, if you've read Clive Barker's Books of Blood, it did not live up to the source material. The same thing with 2009's Dread. Also not a bad movie, but considering the source material, not so good. In fact, I would argue, with the exception of 1992's Candyman, Bernard Rose, by the way, great director, only dabbled in horror, unfortunately. Now obviously I'm talking about things that Clive Barker himself did not work on. This is a problem. And that Seth MacFarlane is working with Brannon Braga to create Books of Blood doesn't exactly reassure me. Now keep in mind something. I'm not saying that because Braga is primarily known for science fiction, stuff like Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Next Generation, things of that nature, while Seth MacFarlane is very much in the comedy wheelhouse. That's not what I mean, because if the reboot of Halloween has showed us anything, it's that just because one comes from comedy, or Jordan Peele, if that has shown us anything, it's that you don't necessarily need to be from a horror background to do good horror movies. But at the same time, Clive Barker has such a singular voice. I'm not at all sure that this is going to work. Keep in mind something though. Talking about is an anthology film. Different writers and different directors take Clive Barker's work and extrapolate on it. That's the wild card. Because while Brannon Braga and Seth MacFarlane don't have to be well-versed in the world of horror, those people who are producing these episodes based upon the Books of Blood certainly have to be. And I think it's going to be a crapshoot, to be totally honest. I don't think it's going to work particularly well, but on the whole, I think this is an experiment doomed to fail. As usual, this is Brian with Screenphiles.com and my 2 cents. Do you agree? Disagree? Don't care? Let me know down below, and since you're there, consider a like or a follow. Peace.